Hello, friends, and welcome to Adventures in Pixieland. My name's Amy. I'm an ordained minister, and we are in Bible study. We're in the NIV, and we are in the book of 1 Samuel, and we are in chapter 4, which actually starts off really kind of in the end of chapter 3, which had the title of "The Lord Calls Samuel." This one is, "And Samuel's word came to all of Israel." So everybody heard Samuel's word. The next header is, "The Philistines capture the ark." Like, oh no, not the ark, not where God talks to them from there, the ark. The Philistines capture the ark. Now, the Israelites went out to fight against the Philistines. The Israelites camped at Ebenezer, and the Philistines at Aphek. Aphek. The Philistines deployed their forces to meet Israel, and as the battle spread, Israel was defeated by the Philistines, who killed about 4,000 of them on the battlefield. When the soldiers returned to camp, the elders of Israel asked, "Why did the Lord bring defeat upon us today before the Philistines? Let us bring the ark of the Lord's covenant from Shiloh, so that it, or he, may go with us and save us from the hand of our enemies." The he here would be God. So the people sent men to Shiloh, and they brought back the ark of the covenant of the Almighty, who is enthroned between the cherubim. And Eli's two sons, Hophni and Phinehas, were there with the ark of the covenant of God. When the ark of the Lord's covenant came into the camp, all Israel raised such a great shout that the ground shook. Hearing the uproar, the Philistines asked, "What is this shouting in the Hebrew camp?" They learned that the ark of the Lord had come into the camp. The Philistines were then afraid. "A god has come into the camp," they said. "We're in trouble. Nothing like this has ever happened before. Woe to us! Who will deliver us from the hand of these mighty gods? They are the gods who struck the Egyptians with all kinds of plagues in the desert. Be strong, Philistines. Be men, or you will be subject to the Hebrews, as they have been to you. Be men and fight." So, got fear running through the camp, right? Because they're like, oh no, because for them, they don't conceive of God in the same way we conceive of God, if the living God, the singular God, the only God, that kind of God. They don't see that. For them, there's a pantheon. So it's like, but because they have not ever encountered that before, because their gods are represented in statues. That's what I'm going to say. So the Philistines fought, and the Israelites were defeated, and every man fled to his tent. The slaughter was very great. Israel lost 30,000 foot soldiers. Wow. The ark of God was captured, and Eli's two sons, Hophni and Phinehas, died. So he wasn't having any more of that, was he? Death of Eli. That same day, a Benjaminite ran from the battle line and went to Shiloh. His clothes were torn and dust on his head. When he arrived there, Eli was sitting in his chair by the side of the road, watching. This was really actually his habit, I'd have to say, because his heart feared for the ark of God. When the man entered the town and told what had happened, the whole town sent up a cry. Eli heard the outcry and asked, "What is the meaning of this uproar?" The man hurried over to Eli, who was 98 years old and whose eyes were set so that he could not see. So likely cataracts, if not just, old age. He told Eli, "I have just come from the battle line. I fled from it this very day." Eli asked, "What happened, my son?" The man the man who brought the news replied, Israel fled before the Philistines, and the army has suffered heavy losses. Also, your 2 sons, Hophni and Phinehas, are dead, and the ark of God has been captured. When he mentioned the ark of God, Eli fell backward off his chair by the side of the gate. His neck was broken, and he died, for he was an old man and heavy. He led Israel 40 years. His daughter-in-law, the wife of Phinehas, was pregnant and near the time of delivery. When she heard the news of the Ark of the Covenant had been captured and that her father-in-law and husband were dead, she went into labor and gave birth, but was overcome by her labor pains. As she was dying, the women attending her said, Don't despair. You have given birth to a son. But she did not respond or pay any attention. She named the boy Ichabod. See, Ichabod means no glory, saying, The glory has departed from Israel because of the capture of the ark of God and the death of her father-in-law and her husband. She said, The glory has departed from Israel, for the ark of God has been captured. So God got rid of the 2 sons of Eli that he didn't like, and Eli's life is also over, as he told Samuel what happened. If you want to find out what happens next, though, you're going to have to come back for the next video, friends.